Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Adetorera Banjo is a strategy and transformation professional with over 14 years experience within the financial services sector. With a proven track record in assisting leading organizations achieve their strategic objectives, she'll be giving us an insight on when and how SMEs should scale. Welcome to the morning show, Adetorera.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. So we just spoke to Dolapo, and of course we learned a lot. But now the thing is, when do SMEs know, or how do SMEs know when to scale?
Okay, so when we talk about scaling for any business, really, it's a process of growth, really. And I think basically any organization or any business in existence, really, the overall objective is to grow and remain in business continually. So when we talk about scaling up, you're looking at an organization that is obviously in existence for at least 2 to 3 years, able to increase its turnover, increase its number of employees by at least 20% on a year-on-year basis. So that's when we're talking about growth happening. Interestingly, what happens is that a majority of small businesses that we have today, typically, don't survive the first 5 years. So you see a lot of, like 20% of them actually survive in the first 5 years. And majority of those that survive, even in the first 5 years, don't actually grow beyond that startup level. Yeah. So a lot of onus really is on small business to say, how do we grow? Is it organically or inorganically? Is the growth as a matter of just expansion of the business, going into new markets, and all of that?
Yeah, we talked about that. 50%, the US Bureau of Statistics actually says less than 50%.
Yeah, actually.
And that's
and it is very crucial, the timing, and when to know when to actually scale your business. Do you think what do you think the issue is in Nigeria specifically in terms of scaling, and why there are so many businesses, but then maybe they don't last the test of time? You don't hear about them a year later. Is it because they're scaling too early, would you say, or?
So actually, I think the first thing is really the business itself, the overall objective of the business. And I would say the business idea in itself, is it a business that is sustainable over time? Does it have a multiplier effect? Typically we tell small businesses that when coming up with a business plan, at least it should be able to impact 1 million Nigerians, for example. So when the business itself is not that strong, the business idea itself is not that strong, then scaling becomes a problem because you're still trying to grapple with the day-to-day activities of running it. Now, for a business that knows, okay, you know what, okay, I've tested the market, it seems that there's definitely a demand or there's actually a value in whatever business I am in. The next question is, how do I go beyond this startup level? How do I increase my customer base? If I have a product, for instance, that has a huge market out of Nigeria and has a huge demand in Africa, how do I begin to showcase this product? How do I gain access to new markets? And that's when the business is starting to think of scaling up.
So do you work with SMEs at all?
I would say yes. In terms of, so what has happened is over the course of my career, I've had an opportunity to actually work directly with SMEs. We actually led 2 studies in KPMG. The first was the Access to Finance study in 2014, where we were just trying to understand really what are the real major issues that small businesses face. And when you go out there, everybody says it's finance, it's capital, it's finance. And interestingly, at the end of the study, we asked small businesses to rank the top 3 problems that they face on a daily basis, and 80% ranked enabling business environment as number 1. Oh, and when we talk enabling business environment, just basically doing business in Nigeria, power, infrastructure, logistics, and all of that. Next was the government policies in terms of even starting up or setting up a business, registering a business, getting all the permits, and then access to finance actually ranked the 3rd. So, I mean, if you look at it, we're putting things in perspective. Also, we did another study, which was basically mapping the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Nigeria. So I've had a lot of, I would say, dealings within the sector and understanding really where the challenges are. What are some of the, critical success factors for small business? And this cuts across any type of business anyway, whether it's a small, it's a medium, or it's a large enterprise.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely be coming for some personal consultation.
Because we don't actually hear people say, oh, you need an accountant, you should definitely get an accountant. But in terms of your strategy and somebody to actually advise,
really good.
So
how can we reach you on social media?
You can reach us on KPMG. We have a Twitter handle, kpmg.ng, and the website, and then you get all the
I think she's looking for your personal handle, but it's
Well,
fine.
I'll be
She'll get
talking
your
to you
business
after,
card.
yes.
No problem.
After the show. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much.
Adetorera. And that brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you so much for watching. From the entire morning show team here in Lagos, all that's left to say is enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day. Goodbye.
Goodbye.